Do you daven at this shul?
No, we don't.
No, we're good.
I am from the Valley, and there was a impromptu protest in front of Shaarei Tzedek in Valley.
Thursday?
Yes, and we were called there, after it was too late, where they were already in front of our synagogue. And so today I figured I would come before they did.
He made up various chants to counter their lies and screams.
Now, I read that they felt intimidated by the Jewish response. Was there a formidable Jewish response?
On Thursday? If they were intimidated by the Jewish response, it's only because they weren't successful. So I guess they get intimidated when they're not going to succeed in their lies.
What were they protesting on that occasion?
The same issue that's happening here, which is that there's real estate being sold in Israel, and if they believe that it's a controversial issue, there is a time and place for that. And you don't target a synagogue, which is already targeted by anti-Semites. You need to have some sensitivity that there was a Tree of Life synagogue where there was a shooting. You can't make us a target because you have a political disagreement.
But if what they're holding here, they deem is not a religious matter, it's a commercial matter.
And granted, but it is a synagogue. If there was a speaker, a controversial speaker that went to speak at a mosque somewhere in Los Angeles, who advocated violence is resistance, right? That's certainly a controversial opinion. But we wouldn't go and protest in front of their mosque because we would have the sensitivity that it is a sensitive site. It's not a place that you can put in jeopardy. This is happening in Toronto, in Baltimore. Rabbi Korupkin in Toronto said, you want to protest somewhere? Fine. But once you come to our synagogues, that's where we draw the line.
Yeah. Do you feel that this is really just about the land sale, or is it a pretext to dominate the Jews?
Pretext to dominate the world. Anyone who does not believe that is blind. When they take down American flags on campuses to hang up Palestinian flags, that's nothing with Zionism. You could say it's support of Israel, but it's clear. You can look, just read the news, look at the maps, go through Europe, go through all the countries where they've been. A few years ago in France, they destroyed 20 Barclay blanks in London. This has nothing to do with the land of Israel. Let's open our eyes. Nobody wants them. All the Arab cousins and countries do not want them. It's clear. Egypt made a 60-foot wall below the ground to keep them out. We support them. We give humanitarian support. They in 4 years, in the early 1920s, they were given mid 1920s. There were over $6 billion given humanitarian support to Palestine. Where's that money? How come they don't have their own electric company? How come they don't have their stores? How come they don't have proper schools and communities? Where's all that money? It's in tunnels, under the ground in tunnels. They don't want peace. This had nothing to do with Israel. That's their excuse. That's not their cause.
How did the leaders of Hezbollah and Hamas all become billionaires multi-times?
Because generous people like in various countries support them. Where's the money going to? And they do investments and they make more money. They make deals, and arms deals. How do you think they're getting rich? By selling penny stocks?
So how organized do you think the Jewish defense today has been? I should say either, I know it was in your backyard in the Valley, either on Thursday or here today. How organized, because these guys have a very clear-cut, short, succinct message for anyone who's listening on YouTube or even on TV. What's the message that the Jews ought to be conveying here?
We are certainly not organized like them, but anybody who looks at these types of events understand none of us are being paid. And a large majority of them are.
And I would add to that, none of us really want to be here. We're not interested in getting out and fighting and demonstrating in the sense where we have to defend our rights to exist in a free country like America. We're done with that. We don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here?
I don't want to have to come out and demonstrate for my freedom, to test my right to be a free religious Jew in a free country like America. That's unnecessary. But they're causing it, they're creating it, they're the agitators. Yeah. Just like they agitated on October 7th, they're agitating today as well. It's the exact same thing. And then they blame us. And then we become the bad guy. Those days are done. Those days are absolutely done.
What are the messages that you chant? Tell us some of the points that you wanted to bring up.
Stay away from our shuls. Society still has rules.
What's a shul?
A shul is a synagogue. That's our way of calling it.
Also a school? There's a learning there, sometimes Hebrew school?
Not necessarily, but shul I think is from Yiddish, no?
Yiddish word.
It's a Yiddish word. A Beit Knesset in Hebrew. So it just rhymed with rules.
Do the one the one with the no, the never again is now.
I have about 15 of them. To stand united is our vow, never again is now. We are not afraid. of your terrorist crusade.
I don't know. It seems like the Jewish establishment is afraid because they haven't organized a resistance to it since USC and UCLA.
This is because it's not how we live. This is not. This
Well,
is
maybe
not,
we have to evolve or die.
We have to. Unfortunately, we have to. We are resisting. We are resisting that evolutionary process. We are resisting to go down that path. We had to do it after the Holocaust. We had to do it in the beginning of the state. We had to do it for every single decade that the state of Israel exists. There's not been a single decade. That means there's not been a single set of 10 years that Israel has not been under siege and under war. We don't want to live like that. We don't. We've been living in America for over 100 years peacefully.
Israel doesn't want to, but they have an army. They organize an army. Where's our defense?
You know what it's called? It's called the Israel Defense Force.
Where's our defense?
So you're right. So now we recognize, unfortunately, we have to do that now.
The fact is that our tendency is to live within the structure of the law, and LAPD is law enforcement in this area, and we're not vigilantes, essentially.
You saw yourself, and you caught it on video, the response to the Palestinian protesters against the police. The police were not pushing away Jews. The police were not pushing away the Jewish community. The police were forced and compelled to push away. They were screaming to defund the police, the LAPD as a KKK. We love the LAPD. We love the police force. We respect them, honor them, and appreciate them. I was out there pouring water for them because we appreciate that they have to come out on their Sunday afternoons, listening to speakers blaring all over them. I actually want to invest in earplugs for the next riot force because I feel so bad for them.
I would just say, as much as we do appreciate the LAPD, within the scope of the law, we're going to do whatever we need to do to stand up for ourselves. We're not going to rely on them. We appreciate it, but we will stand up for ourselves if we need to. Within the scope.
Shouldn't the police have separated the two sides on opposite sides of either a skirmish line or the street, and rather than having them intermingled, so that people wouldn't be bear sprayed with mace in the face?
I have a lot to say on this because on Thursday, when I showed up in the Valley Village area, they were standing on the sidewalk right in front of the synagogue.
Who was?
I would say the Hamas supporters. Okay, I call them Hamas supporters because when you say Intifada is the only solution, you're supporting Hamas. That's their philosophy.
It's not just supporting Hamas; it's supporting Islam, right? They're saying
no. I would say Intifada is armed revolution and targeting civilians specifically, and that is Hamas supporting. So the Hamas supporters showed up.
Sorry, you can't automatically label the entire Islam religion with that.
No. Wait a minute. Islam has been, first of all, it's riddled with anti-Semitism in its scripture and its culture. Are you guys going to try and pass that over, smooth it over?
We live in what's the reality.
Islam is inherently anti-Semitic.
It's the reality of how people are willing to live. People may have anti-Semitism feelings, people may have anti-Semitism philosophies, but if you don't attack us and you don't demonstrate against us and you don't destroy our peace, that's your problem.
If we were Arabs here, they would not be. If we were Muslims, if we were even Pakistani Muslims, they would not be doing this. They don't do it against Syria or any of the other Muslim countries.
That's because they know that they'd be bombed in the morning. They'd be dead by the morning come.
It's an interesting debate.
Sudan, the more people killed you want to talk about genocides in Syria and Sudan,
we agree
right?
to that. The world gets quiet on that. How come then, besides yourselves on the ground, where are the newscasters in the air? Where are those newscasters? Why are they not flying?
Where are they?
Good question.
It's not news anymore.
It's not news. It doesn't get news if you show that the Jews are responding to a demonstration in a Pico Robertson neighborhood. It doesn't make news. Not newsworthy. They'd rather do something else where the Jews are not responding, like in campuses and universities. Why were there no newscasters over here?
You know what? Maybe it's like filming an away game. Your team is in another city losing. Maybe it's better not to show it on TV.
Right. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, how proud are you of the way? I know that you guys came with your speakers and everything, but the organized resistance. If this were a game, would you say that you won this game?
I would say that we would. That we did.
Yeah.
I would say that we did.
I think it'll take a little bit long for our clan to gather together and all that, but ultimately they did come out. You saw the numbers yourself. The streets were filled with them. And like I said, we didn't come prepared as well as they did because they've been doing this for months already. They're doing it all over the world. They're trained. They're paid to do this. They are trained to do this. They are trained to do this.
But then oughtn't you be training your guys to respond in kind?
Now we have to.
Now you have to.
Now we have to. Never again is now. I said, never again is now.
Is it okay to put this on TV and online?
Please, yes.
Maybe a documentary?
You can say my full name if you want.